Hey everyone, it's Game Camilla here, back at you. Guess what? It's September. In addition to all the new bugs that we got and you saw in the last video, we're having a lot of new fish this month as well. Today I'm going to show you the new fish that's coming both in the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere in Animal Crossing New Horizons. This month is actually a very important month for fishing. Even though there's not a lot of fish arriving in this month, two of the fish are only fish that you can get in this month and this month only. So you kind of have to really make it a point to fish this month. On top of that, a few of the fish are kind of really hard to get a hold of. So you definitely want to dedicate some time this month to fishing. And we'll go into details why those fish are a little bit tough to get a hold of this month when we come across them. But before we do that, make sure you subscribe. I do 2 videos a week, everything from Nintendo Switch all the way to retro gaming. I love showing off video games, and I love sharing news with you guys and neat things that I come across. But with that said, let's get started with the Northern Hemisphere that's getting 5 new fish this month. The first fish this month that's available is the pike. The pike is a fish that's going to be found anywhere in the river in Animal Crossing. It's going to feature a large shadow to look for. And it's going to be available all day. And it's going to be available from September all the way to December. The next fish that we have isn't even a fish. It's actually a crab. But it's found under the fish. So the next one is the mitten crab. And you can find that as a small shadow in the rivers. And that one's going to be available from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. And it's going to be available in the Northern Hemisphere from September to November. The next one up is the famed sturgeon fish. And that one is going to be found at the river mouth. And that one's going to be one of the largest shadows to see. Lucky for this one's going to be available all day. And it's going to be available from this month, September, all the way to March. So a good amount of time to find this one. Now of note for the sturgeon, it is a pretty rare fish to come by. Luckily enough, it is available via all these months, but it's going to take some effort to find this fish. Now onto our 2 special fish of the month. And the first one up is the salmon, and that's going to be available via a large shadow, and it's going to be found in the river mouth, and it's going to be available all day in the month of September only in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, luckily enough, the salmon is pretty common to come by, so if you find a large shadow in the river mouth on your islands, chances are it is going to be a salmon. The other one is the king salmon. Now, the king salmon is via the largest shadow, and it's going to be available in the same location of the river mouth, and it's going to be available again all day and only in the month of September. Now this fish is a bit rare to come by, so it's going to take a little bit of an effort to come across this fish. The king salmon also competes with the sturgeon via the same shadow, and it being only available in this month, it could take some effort to find a king salmon, depending on how your luck goes with the sturgeon. So it's going to take some effort this month. So that's all the fish for the Northern Hemisphere this month. 5 new fish. But in addition to that, the Southern Hemisphere also gets some new fish this month, and they also get 5 new fish. The first one up is the tiny tadpole, and that's going to be available as a tiny shadow in ponds, and they're going to be available all day. And in the Southern Hemisphere, they're going to be found from this month in September all the way to January. The next one is the loach, and that's going to be available as a small shadow in rivers. And they're going to be also available all day, and going to be available this month through November. Beyond that, we have the char, and the char is a interesting fish that it's a medium-sized shadow, and it's going to be found in the river cliff tops. So you want to make sure you go up to the 2nd or 3rd levels of your island and fish for this guy. It's going to be available from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. and in the Southern Hemisphere it's going to be available from September all the way to May, so plenty enough time to get this fish. The legendary golden trout is also available in the river cliff top, and that's going to be found through a medium-sized shadow, and that's also available from 4 p.m. to 9 a.m. and it's going to be available from this month, September, all the way to May. And finally, for the Southern Hemisphere, we get the Baird Knife Jaw, which is a medium shadow that's going to be found in the sea, and they're going to be available all day. And they're going to be available from this month, September, all the way to May. So plenty enough time to get this fish. So there you go. And not a lot of new fish coming this month, but some really important ones, especially for the Northern Hemisphere, that they definitely want to take advantage of. And as a reminder, Southern Hemisphere players, if you have a friend that's in the Northern Hemisphere, make it a point to maybe go to their island with a bunch of bait and hopefully nail a salmon or a king salmon, or get a sturgeon if you haven't gotten one already. And the same thing vice versa if the Northern Hemisphere players, if you somehow missed the 5 new ones that are coming to the Southern Hemisphere, well, hit up a Southern Hemisphere player, see if they can come to your island, or see if you can come to their island and nab that fish. With that said, guys, I hope you found this video informative. Make sure you get out there, catch those fish. Make it a point this month to do so. Catch any bugs, too. You see it in the last video. Guys, I stream 4 days a week on Twitch. Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Links in the description box below. Also have the Kaiju Club Discord. Check that out. It's a big growing community. But with that said, guys, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will catch you next time.